Let's start by creating a small server. This is simply to illustrate creating an npm application that runs on Node using the Express package. I'm going to do it here at the console, but as you can see here, I am at the console at /exercise. I have also the file finder viewer opened up to the same location within my hard drive. Eventually, I will use the browser to take a look at what we have on our server. And I also have here an editor where I will write the server. So let me go ahead and start out by making a directory. I will call this directory little server because it's going to be a tiny little server, and you can see that showed up over here as well. I'm going to go ahead and move into that directory. And now that I am inside of it, I need to create an npm application. And really all this does is that it creates a configuration file that when we add packages will be listed under that configuration file. And this is done so that when you distribute your code, you do not have to include the Node packages, and anyone can run npm install and recreate all of the components that you use within your application. So we create an npm application by entering npm init and answering a few questions. Here I will go with the default. The package name will be little server. Default version, I will say here small exercise. Then the entry point will be index.js. That is fine. No test command, no get repo, no keywords. I will enter my name as the author, the MIT license, and then it'll ask me to confirm the data. And you can see there that it is in fact the one we just entered. I will say, is this okay? Yes. And then if we take a look at our file system, we will see package.json, again with the information we just entered. Next, we're going to add the package that we're going to be using, the module of Express. And we do that by entering npm install and then Express. And as you can see there, that package, this is reaching out to the npm library. And I'm getting some message there about just my version of npm. But this reached out through the web to the npm registry and pulled down the latest version of Express and deposited it in a folder called Node Modules. Now, if I list my files again, you can see there that I now have a node_modules. And if you look inside of it, you will see that it has the code for Express and all of the dependencies of Express. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the contents of package.json, you will see that the Express module has been added. So if we take a look at package.json, you will see there that under dependencies, now we have Express in the current version of Express. So at this point, we have created an npm application. We generated the configuration file, which is just package.json. We added Express, and we verified that that dependency is now part of package.json. So next we're going to write some code to make use of Express. And we will do that in this file here. Let me go ahead and save it. And as you can see there, I have called it index.js. If we open up the directory, you can see there that we have index.js. So now let's go ahead and create the code for this little server, and let's create a variable called Express. And into it, we're going to assign the package that we downloaded. We use that entering require and then the name of the module. And then we're going to create an Express application, and we do that by entering the following. Now at this point we have an Express application, and then we're going to enter a route. That is a path that when entered at the browser will be communicated back to the server, and the right path, if the user enters the right path, that path will be chosen, a route. So let's go ahead and enter that path. The path is going to be the following. This is just a route. Then we will create a function. And this function takes two parameters, request and response. That is, when the request from the browser comes in, all of the information that is part of that request will be packaged into the REQ request object, and all of the functionality that is required to do a response will be put into the RES object as well. So in this case, all we're going to do is a simple response. And so we're going to enter response.send, and then we'll simply say hello world. And that's all we will do. We will do one route, a simple hello at the root path. Now we need to add a listener. So we will enter app.listen. I will enter the port that is going to be listening at, and I will add a function callback here simply to write to the console and provide some feedback to the user. And so I will enter the following. I'll say running on port 3000. Go ahead and save that. And now at this point, we're ready to run our little tiny server. And we can do that at the console by simply entering node and the index file that has the code. And as you can see there, we have running on port 3000. We can go back to the browser now and enter the path, which is localhost 3000, because that's the port it is listening at. And that's all we need to enter because we're going for the default route there. And so if everything went well, we will be able to see that hello world coming back. And yes, we can. So this is a bare bones little server that we can make a request to using the browser.